Hey guys, so this video is going to be basically some things that I learned about having a baby, things that I learned after having my second baby actually, and things that I wish I would have known before. So I have some notes, so I'm just going to look at them. But to anyone having a baby, these are some good things that I wish I would have known before, I had my baby. The first thing is, don't buy any clothes for your baby, really, except for sleepers. And this is just my advice. Obviously, this is my opinion, but what I found out was, we got all these cute little adorable outfits and all these little 2- and 3-piece outfits, but realistically, your baby is only going to be in sleepers. At least mine, ours literally lives in sleepers because that's what's comfortable. That's what is just the easiest thing to put on them, zip them up or button them up and go with it. You don't want, especially if you have a chunky baby like me, you don't want, the elastic bands on some of the pants are really cut into their stomachs and are really tight. So only buy sleepers, the 1-piece sleepers. So the second thing is, if you are going to breastfeed, nipple pads are a must. If you're going to breastfeed, get some nipple pads because you're definitely going to need them. So stock up on plenty of nursing bras while you're pregnant. You're going to need those. And you're not going to use padsicles if you end up having to get a C-section. Okay, it sounds kind of funny, but there were a lot of videos going around about padsicles and for delivery, and I got all excited and went out and got the stuff, the witch hazel and the aloe vera and this and that and the oils, and sat and did a whole Saturday night with Joseph making padsicles, which I didn't end up realizing that I was going to end up having a C-section, so I had no use for the padsicles. So I basically had to throw them out. So if you end up having a natural birth, then yes, that would be great. I ended up having a C-section, so I didn't need them. But if you have a big baby, if you are pregnant, try to make sure, which this is probably common sense, but try to make sure that you find out how big the baby is towards the end of your pregnancy, because I did not have an ultrasound because everything was going fine, everything, the baby, she was healthy, and the last minute I found out that she was 10 pounds, like, after her due date, because I didn't, have another ultrasound. They said that the insurance didn't cover another ultrasound, because everything was good. Well, then I found out she was 10 pounds, and I feel like if I would have known earlier, that maybe we could have delivered before she got that big, then I wouldn't have had to get a C-section because they were worried about complications, with her being delivered, because she was 10 pounds, 1 ounce. So my first one was 8 pounds, 4 ounces. So anyways, try to find out towards the end of your pregnancy exactly how big your baby is. Even if you have to pay for an extra ultrasound, like in my case, it would have been worth it to know, so maybe the doctor would have gone ahead and delivered me sooner. For all the pictures and videos and stuff that you're going to take, I would recommend doing like a backup cloud, like on Gmail, instead of trying to do SD cards like I was. Then you're like messing around with a lot of SD cards in and out, and then it's just better to have everything just backed up to Gmail. Don't forget the birth certificate a few weeks after having the baby. I somehow forgot, and it delayed getting her 2-month doctor appointment. So you definitely don't want to forget getting your child's birth certificate. Don't forget the birth certificate. Sorry about that. My dog's barking. Shut up. Ariel, shh. Another thing is, hush! Shh! Ariel! Sorry. Another thing is Don't stress about your house being clean towards the end of your pregnancy. I know it's hard because you're going to be nesting and you're going to want to be doing that a lot. But it's not going to matter in a week or two. Once you have him or her, that will be the last thing on your mind. Another thing, pregnancy hormones are not the end of it. You then have postpartum hormones, which, baby blues is a real thing, but it will not last forever. You will feel sad, emotional, insecure, sappy, inadequate sometimes, but that is okay and it will go away. I wish someone would have I did have someone tell me after the fact, and you hear that you might have postpartum depression, but what I didn't understand is that you're basically whether you have postpartum depression or not, you're going to have a lot of emotions, because your body's, going through such a change after you have a baby and your hormones are trying to adjust. So you're going to feel, at least I did, definitely, and I know a lot of other women have, felt really, really just like sad and, well, not really sad, but, just really, like, emotional and needing affection and that type of thing. It was just like that for a few weeks, and then it went away. Don't forget to use protection when you first begin. I know it's exciting when you're first getting to do it after having the baby and your belly's gone, so just kind of don't forget that. C-section, what I've learned too is the C-section's not the end of the world, and it's not as bad as I thought it was. Excuse me, it is bad. I mean, it is tough and it's painful. Recovery is painful, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. There is a reason that they sell and buy bibs and burp up cloths because spit up is going to happen. It's inevitable and it's no joke. Nora has spit up a lot. She just recently, the more and more, the older she gets, the better it gets. But she used to spit up a lot, and it's normal, so just go ahead and be assured that your baby's going to be spitting up, like sometimes 10 times a day. Let's see. Expect blowout diapers, especially if you use Huggies diapers. We use Pampers, but we did get a box of Huggies, and whenever she would have an explosive diaper, it would definitely go through those. And when they start getting a little older, if they're still having blowouts, like going through their diaper, then that normally means you need to get a bigger size. Once we changed Nora up to size 3, she's already in size 3s. Now it holds it in. Nuck passies are the best. Nuck nipple pads are the best. Lanolin, or however you pronounce that, nipple pads suck. They bunch up in your bra and are pointless, is what my notes say. And they suck. So definitely don't want to get those. The Nuck is the best brand in my opinion. Definitely get a wipes warmer if you have your baby in the winter. I don't use one anymore, but in the winter, I put on my note, cold wipes on their butt is just brutal. Get lots of movies and things to do because you're going to be stuck in the house for a while unless you want to take your baby out and expose them to germs. Especially when you have them in the winter and flu season like we did. We did not want to be around that, so we were in the house on lockdown for a long time. The waistband that they give you in the hospital, if you have a C-section, the waistband that they give you in the hospital is everything. I wore that thing, that was like my best friend for the longest time. It kind of holds everything in, because it's really tender when you get a C-section, and it just makes you feel more secure. It just kind of protects, your stomach. And it also helps with, flattening your stomach out to a certain extent. Coconut oil is the best for stretch marks. I used that and didn't get any stretch marks with Nora. I had a few on my sides of my upper hips from, my first pregnancy, but coconut oil is just the best. Another thing I learned is that my husband is a great cook. Get your husband to take over the kitchen once you have the baby. Mine is still cooking in the meals, and it's almost the 10th week, which this was a while ago. I'm just now putting this up here, but my notes were from a while ago. Juggling and dividing your attention / love equally between both children is very mentally and physically exhausting when you're going from a mom of one to a mom of two, but it can be done. I didn't know how it would be possible to give my heart to another child the way that I had with Ari. I was scared that I couldn't, but my heart stretched and made room for Nora. Seeing your children bond is the most rewarding thing ever. If you're a mother of one, you think, oh, I'll never be able to love, I don't know how I could ever love a child the way that I love anyone like I love my baby. But you can. Your heart, the way that I look at it is like it stretches. When you have another child, your heart just completely stretches even more, and there's enough love to go around. I was really stressed in the beginning about the whole adjustment for Ari with there being a new baby, but you know what, if you're worried about that, don't, because eventually time will work its way out and work everything out. And now Ari, in the beginning, Ari was a little hesitant about Nora, because she was used to being the only one. But now she loves that baby, and they adore each other, and it's just the sweetest thing. So it's like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders, where that's concerned. Craving crushed ice did not go away once I had Nora. My iron, I guess, is still trying to build its way back up. Another thing I put is, sounds like it would be common sense, but don't forget to eat, especially if you're breastfeeding or if you plan to breastfeed. Like me, sometimes I will realize that I haven't eaten all day, and it'll be half the day will be gone, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do a better job of taking care of myself. But you just get so busy and everything, and caught up in your newborn. You just do. Try to take care of yourself. Enjoy your baths while you're pregnant, because especially if you have a C-section, you can't have one for at least 6 weeks after. And another thing, the last thing I put is you will fall off the face of the earth for a good 2 months, or at least I did once you have your baby. So that's basically it. Just a few points, things that I learned after having a baby. It was my second baby, but it had been 10 years since I had my first. So it was basically like, it felt like my first time again. So just some tips if you are pregnant. Hopefully those will help you.